kind.
No stickers.
Right, and I guess that's probably because little kids probably
Just put
go
'em all
sticking
over
them
everything.
all over the
But
place.
the whole voting for this,
I know.
they're all stickers.
I don't know.
I don't know if they give those away at the fair, though.
What
I
if
know
it's
they
new?
do.
It could be because there are a couple of new things this year.
Yeah.
But the voting people, they're giving away pencils and bags.
Yeah.
I don't remember any stickers.
I do.
That's where we got the bumper stickers for don't text and drive.
Yeah,
and
watch out for
mo-
motorcycles. And
Well, that was the sheriff's department, though, so
Oh, well,
maybe
they're
that's
special.
maybe that's different.
Yeah.
They just don't want.
like the businesses that give free coffee to police officers because they want the police officers near their businesses.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that was just a rule.
I'm
It
not
said you
complaining. I'm just saying.
Can't give away stickers.
No stickers.
Shit, when I
So-
managed a gas station, I gave away coffee to all kinds of stuff. I got my trash picked up for free. The county guy would accidentally shovel my driveway.
Accidentally.
Yes, it was at the end of his route, and that's where he turned around. And he just would accidentally leave his blade down while he was turning around up on Nancy Circle.
Well, that's cool because it helped out your neighbor too.
Yeah.
So, did you look at those the poker chips instead of business cards?
Yes, I
God,
did.
They're expensive.
Yes,
aren't they?
I
Like
know.
35 cents or something each.
I heard your cry, and I just haven't had time to really look into it. But there is a lot of different things out there.
I think we can find
Bottle
something
openers.
cheaper. Yeah, but I think we can probably get those for about 10 cents a piece, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if we have, like I said, just something that's different instead of a business card that's going
Well,
to go
something
on a
that's
stack
useful.
of business cards.
Something that's useful. Someone say,
Right.
"Oh, well, look, a bottle opener. I'll keep that."
Or even one of those rubber things you can open cans with.
A tampon bag.
I don't know. Those rubber things you open your bottles with in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah. Oh, yeah, they're just little.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
can't be that expensive, couldn't they? If you got
Well, they-
ordered like
I don't know.
500 of them, they
You-
can't be more than 10.
Shutterfly would be a place to look.
Yeah, but isn't Shutterfly like retail compared to these mass production
I don't
places?
know, because I get stuff, all those pictures.
Well, they do have a lot of sales.
Yeah, all those pictures and everything I get emails all the time saying 5 free items. I made Jess a shot glass one time with World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I made her a set of 4 coasters with the World of Warcraft. You just upload anything and put it on. I made that deck of playing cards with her picture on it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like, even if we like just made a couple really cool things and like, hey, if you want to do whatever, put your email address and shit, boom, boom, put it in the box. Then
Yeah.
we have email addresses we can send, hey, Greg comes on, yada, yada, yada. And then give away one thing that's somewhat nice.
Yeah. It's a shame I don't work at the repo company anymore. We could have had gifts falling out of our yin yang.
well, there's another, if they wouldn't have the Gripe logo, but if you want, you gotta
Cookies.
think of,
Cookies.
You got to think of something like, I don't want to say a mascot, but something, because you can get all kinds of shit like that at OrientalTradingCompany.com for so cheap.
Yeah, but would they be here by September?
Yeah.
Shit, that stuff comes. That's what I mean. It won't have the Gripe logo, but no, you order something.
Kazoos.
It doesn't actually come from Japan. It takes
China.
China.
Yeah.
Well, what if we got a bunch of little decals and 500 kazoos and went,
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's worth look because that stuff it'll be here in a week. Yeah, I've ordered a lot of stuff from there before.
dude, how pissed off would everybody at the fucking fair be if there was 900 kids running around blowing a kazoo?
It'd be worse than they would wish.
The
they
next
were
year they
allowing
ban
the
kazoos.
stickers.
No one's allowed to give away kazoos
Kazoos, yeah.
or flutes or,
Or
recorders of any
whistles.
kind.
Dude,
Something like that.
whistles. Oh, that would piss them up. But
And
that
at the
would,
concerts, there'd be a band.
Because Oriental Trading, it's all about mass bulk stuff like that. Like you would give away at like kids' birthday parties, a schoolroom,
Right.
classroom party.
Yeah.
That's
Oreos.
where I got the Lays for our wedding. I got a box of 144 for like $10. It's too. I mean, that's how cheap the stuff is.
We could make one of those stupid wheels with the pointer.
Oh,
oh, you know what? I wonder how
And
much.
then the good news is someone spins the wheel, wins something, and then they just have to take a picture. We put the flag. We got that flag upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And then they can just and put it on the website. And
I wonder how much it would cost to get stickers made that were skinny and long. Buy 2 or 3 boxes of sunglasses, stick them on there,
Oh.
and then Ohio Grape, boom.
They
And
have
people
s-
extra sunglasses for people to wear around because some people are going to forget sunglasses while they're there.
yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
yeah. Well, if Chris is going to work, we got time this afternoon.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for my kid who left her fiance in Wisconsin, and she's driving home.
We're recording, by the way.
Okay. Hi, Jess.
All right. So, like, you mean left, like, as in screw you, I'm out, and never want to talk to you again, or was like, I'm going to go visit my parents, bye?
No, we don't know which one.
Oh.
Well,
it could be one of either one.
We're not 100. Okay.
So, I mean, you know what?
She's
I did
almost
that
here, and he's there.
Yeah.
So they're having a pause.
They're having a spat.
Yes. I've done that to Dinah a couple times, and I always come back. You
I
cool off. You
I
cool
go
off, and you
run
come to
into
your
my
senses.
brother.
Well, listen, I did it the other night. I was doing something, and I got mad, and she's like, calm down. I'm like, stop telling me to calm down. And she's like, calm down. And I'm like, I'm going to go for a ride on the bike. I'll see you in an hour.
Yeah.
She's like, okay.
Sometimes you got to clear your head.
When Mark did, he was gone for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Only one time. Mm-hmm. The one time I simply was gone long enough to walk from Canton to Plain Township.
Yeah.
I was almost to Hartville. And then the other time I spent one night in a hotel room.
No, and the other time he went back home. Well, we won't talk about that on air.
I don't remember that.
I'll tell you about. I'll remind
Okay,
you
good.
later.
Well, everybody, I just hit the record button because I think it's funny. But yeah. So
Anyway.
my mic's going to cut out because it's way too tight. I'm going to fix this on camera because why
that
not?
looks a little wild. There you go.
We're good. So, anyways, you'll hear a buzzing in the background. I have a little floor fan going. For some reason, I'm burning up today.
It
So,
is so hot.
oh my god!
I
In such a fat way.
Agree to disagree. You are not very hot, sir.
Well, that's all right. I don't care what people with doofloppies have to say about my looks. But anyways,
I do not have a do floppy.
oh, well,
I just have a whole floppy. It's not a do. It's just.
I knew there was going to be something corny coming. I knew it. Anyways, so yeah,
Moving
so
on.
we're talking about Stark County Fair. We want to be there this year. We already got it to be in the Maslin Parade, so we're kind of working our way in
Into
the
the
society here.
community.
Now, if we can just get people to comment on our show so we can adjust and make, that's never happened in the 3 years we've been doing this. We need your comments, people. We need them. Just tell me what you need. Because I checked Spotify. Nobody comments on Spotify. Nobody comments on, a good friend of mine comments on YouTube, which I'm highly grateful of. But he just has good things to say, which is great. But I'm looking for feedback. What do you want me to talk about? Oh, we were supposed to talk about Scientology this week, but something popped up that we're going to talk about it, and we'll talk about Scientology some other week.
Oh boy, listen! If we're gonna do that, I got some information for you before we do that.
What's that?
Oh no, I'll give it to you later.
Okay.
Because listen, these 3 guys I know out of Medina, they do a podcast and they did a 6-hour fucking spiel on Scientology, how it started, who started it, why it happened, how it happened. Oh yeah, dude, it is freaking sane.
Good, I'll have to watch it because I actually don't know anything about it.
Well, yeah, I don't. You have to listen to it. They don't do the YouTube thing.
Oh well, that's
But
fine.
yes, you can listen to it, and it's a doozy.
It's a doozy.
They definitely rip on Scientology without ripping on Scientology. They let the Scientologist mindset do their own ripping on themselves. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it, so I would more be educating myself on camera, so to speak.
Well, yeah, then you'll definitely like this one. But they do really great stuff, man. Their podcasts are awesome.
That's good. But anyway, so what are we going to talk about? Well, we are going to plan on being at Stark County Fair. We're going to kind of get our ducks in a row. And, the wife had some stuff done, and I hurt my back, so we lost a few weeks there. But, we're getting better. So it's time to start cracking down and deciding what we want to do.
Right. And we got some stuff to do.
So, anyways, but there is something I'd love to talk about. It's near and dear to my heart. And I don't know what Patrick thinks about it just yet. But I saw in the news. So I never said it before, just for a bunch of reasons. But I'm going to go ahead and say it. I used to work for a company called Tractor Supply Company. I worked at the warehouse. And my co-host here still does.
Still do.
So when I saw this little article,
Snippet.
yeah, this little piece of info, one eyebrow shot up, and I decided to start reading, which, of course, is not easy for me to do. But I'll just read one headline here. Tractor Supply Company plows into controversy over DEI commitments. Now, what, again, does DEI stand for, dear?
Diversity, something
Something, thing. Oh, she got the mic on.
Yes, I turned it on. It stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
All right. So
And
they were dumping. I'm sorry.
It's a policy or practice designed to make people of various backgrounds feel welcome and ensure they have support to perform to the fullest of their abilities in the workplace.
Now, here's my question. They were dumping a bunch of money into this.
And then they just quit.
What does the money do? I mean, you can just do these things. You can hire people who are in this group and
they
make
do.
them feel comfortable.
And they do.
Right. There was a guy who dressed as a woman every once in a while, and I have no problem with that. It's his face. He can do what he wants.
Right.
As long as he worked, I didn't care. And I know that I don't know of anyone who cared, actually.
I don't know. Are you speaking of Shia?
No, because he's always the way he is.
John.
The one who worked in... You skinny, tall?
Yeah, John.
I didn't know his name.
Yeah. Actually, he's a really good dude.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's actually a really, really good guy. He's a working son of a bitch, too,
Yeah.
boy. I'll tell
That's
you
all
what.
I cared about. I'm there to do a job. I don't give a shit what you do.
Not only did he do his job, but he did his job extremely well. Still
Is he still
does.
there?
Oh, yeah. Him and Angie run in Tugger.
Oh, okay.
Remember how the cleaning people used to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now we do it because the cleaning people wouldn't follow the rules. They were always on their phones and all that kind of, so they've got rid of that cleaning company, got a new one, and all they actually do is clean. And people that work there now run the Tuggers, take care of the trash and the plastic and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome because that gives us 8 more jobs. I mean, that's 8 more of our people that are getting paid instead of somebody else. But that's
Right.
just kind of how I think about things. I would rather see people get paid from us instead of us pay some other company to give somebody else the money.
Right.
If we're going to spend the money, give it to us.
Makes sense.
But who am I?
Anyways, so they were funneling a bunch of money into this DEI commitments and stuff like that. And then basically, from what I understand, I could read a little more, but I'm being lazy. From what I understand, and we'll get into this a little more, the farmers or the customers who go to this company and buy their products, they didn't like that.
Right. It's a very conservative group that
Yes,
purchase.
most farmers are conservatives, which makes sense because farmers want to be left alone so they can farm their land,
Right.
do what they want with their crops. And it's already bad enough with that GMO company. Where, like, if their seeds blow onto their, they can sue the crap out of this guy. This guy has almost no control over it. So that was a huge mess, and I think it's still going on. And as you can see, I don't know much about it.
Well, here's the other things that is going on, and I can tell you is only because I have family that do farming. Mm-hmm. When you plant corn, I don't know how long this has been going on. This might be something that's gone on for years and years and years and years. But when you plant field corn, the actual kernel that you plant is red.
Okay.
Or blue. I can't remember which it is. But anyway, and then every once in a while, there's an odd colored one in there. And the odd colored one is the one that kills the worms that kill the plant. Mm-hmm. But you can't put very many in there because you're not allowed to kill all the worms in your field, just some of them.
And who decided you can't kill all of them?
I do not know. I just noticed it when I was at my brother's house the other day. And I'm like, why is there 2 different colors coming out of the planter? And he's like, oh, well, these ones are to do this, and we're only allowed to have so many per whatever because you're not allowed to kill off all of the worms.
Interesting. I wonder, is it because not having any worms is bad for the crops, or if it's some economical,
Well, the way
or
he
not
explained
economical, but
Environment.
yes, thank you.
What he was saying, whatever it is, the worm will actually kill the corn plant when it's young, and then it won't grow. Mm-hmm. So apparently they just don't want to kill all of them. But I don't know if that is a don't kill all the worms, or if, like you say, it's like for environmental reasons. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But like, there's all kinds of weird things that happen in the old farming community that people don't know about.
Yeah.
That being one of them. You can only kill a certain number of parasites and whatnot.
Rodents.
Yes, rodents.
I don't know how they keep the rodents. I mean, seriously, it's a gigantic plot of land with nothing but stuff that these rodents can eat, and it's covered and it's shielded. And I mean, I don't know how they keep anything out of those fields.
Well, the worst place for rodents is actually mice and rats, and that's whenever you bale your hay and you stack it up, they get in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's apartment living right there.
It is, baby. That's free rent.
Yep. Hollow out a little. I mean, how many times have you gotten an old motorcycle where there's a mouse nest in the airbox?
Oh, always. All the time.
Anyways, so getting back to what I was talking about. So I'm always on the side of farmers because they're necessary. Just that simple. They're
we
just
like to eat.
Yeah, we like to eat food, and I don't like buying apples from China or from Mexico. We need farmers. So I'm on their side. Just for that fact. Not to mention the fact that they're kind of badass.
Listen, man,
They
they
really
do a
are.
lot of friggin' work for
Yes.
not a whole lot of money.
Yes, they get up at 5 in the morning. Actually, they get up at 3 in the morning, start at 5, work till 9 at night.
Yeah.
And in the wintertime, they have, unless they have livestock, they finally get a break. But if they have livestock, it's 24/7,
7 days a week. There's
365 days a year. It is a tough, rewarding, but tough thing to do. And they're men, and I'm not. So I have respect for them.
No day off. Absolutely.
And if they're women, then they're manly women, which is fine.
They're badass women.
Yeah. But anyway, so from what I understand, now I did read something that kind of caught my eye, and I wanted to comment on it, but I don't have that particular website up here. But I remember someone, this sucks, I hate it when I don't really know, because I just remember reading that someone said that some of these farmers were saying things like, we don't like where our money is being spent. Meaning they go into a Tractor Supply, they buy a product, and then Tractor Supply takes that money and they put it into one of these diversity programs. And it kind of caught my eye, and I thought, you know what? Once you buy a product, no longer your money.
Exactly.
Now the company who took your money and gave you a product can do whatever the fuck they want with it.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of arrogant for whoever said that. I don't know if it's a whole group or if just that website. It could have been that journalist making shit up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I remember I wanted to comment. That's pretty arrogant to think that, well, even though I gave you my money, I still control where you do with it. No, you don't. What you can control is the product you bought with it.
And where you buy it from.
Right. Once you transfer that cash for a product, it's no longer yours. So, anyways, I'm not really on Tractor Supply's side. I don't really care one way or another. I am curious, though, if they're funneling money into this diversity program, what does that money do? Does it buy more lobbying? Because I'm against that. Does it buy
Probably.
more propaganda to the news companies?
Probably.
Like, what is this organization that's receiving this money doing with the money?
Let's find out. I will Google.
Yeah. But anyway, so they got in trouble because they were funneling. They went woke, and they were funneling money into these woke programs. And the people who shop at Tractor Supply was like, no. So, okay, give me 1 second. So the CEO basically said, we're losing a ton of money. Our customers are going to Rural King. Hard for me to say.
Rural King is.
Yes. So he ended it. He just said, obviously, our customers don't want this. We're cutting it off. We're not putting any more money into these woke programs. And as far as I can tell so far, I should have did my research. My apologies. I started doing it, and then other shit come up, and I forgot all about it. So I'm going to try to backtrack. But anyways, so there's an organization, I believe the Black Farmers Association, is calling for the resignation of this particular CEO because they did not like the fact that they quit funneling money into the LGBTQ plus advocacy group, and that was one of them. And apparently that's the only thing, because this website, which is Washington Post, only cares about the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
But there was others. They just, so far, I can't find what they are. Can you find anything?
I'm looking here. I'm finding some different things, but it's not a whole lot.
So give us a minute while we try to catch up on stuff.
There's so many pop-ups on everything that I get to. I just back out of it trying to.
I had to stop.
with
Mine
just
simply
general-
wasn't. Mine was gonna forever load. It was never. I just had to kill it. It's like stop loading shit.
I just want general information. Not,
Yeah, no, I'm not getting
not
it.
650,000 ads.
Here's a piece of information. This comes from foxbusiness.com. Shares of Tractor Supply have fallen 3% in the past month since Friday's opening bell. The stock price has gone up over 2%. Now, I don't know what that means because that's literally all they wrote. Tractor Supply has been receiving heat from political activist Robbie Starbuck and others about woke incentives in place at the company. He urged Tractor Supply customers earlier in the month to spend their money elsewhere until Tractor Supply makes real changes. So this is, I wish I knew when this was written.
Sometimes they say it. Here I found something. It looks like the DEI spends money on educating people in colleges about
Oh, fuck.
things.
See, as soon as you said college,
I'm sorry, excuse me, universities.
oh, the same damn thing. So basically, they're the ones that tell these college students to go out and protest this, even though the students have no idea what they're protesting.
Yeah, it seems like it's.
So this comes from foxbusiness.com. Tractor Supply is getting rid of several initiatives that some social media users and customers have slammed as woke in recent weeks. Remember that they were losing a lot of money. The farming supply retailer, which is headquartered in Tennessee, on Thursday said it will ensure our activities and giving tie directly to... I read that as it says. On Thursday it said, will ensure our activities and giving tie directly to our business moving forward. I'm not sure what that means.
I have no idea. That sounds like
that could be a typo. Anyways, Tractor Supply said it will cease sponsorship of non-business activities such as pride festivals and voting campaigns, with intentions to focus more on rural America priorities. So there you go. So they were funneling money into pride festivals and voting campaigns.
And like I said, that pride people, the pride festivals don't bother me.
It depends. If they're naked in a fountain in the middle of the daytime.
Well, I'm not talking about people being idiots. I'm talking about the general.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what I was talking about is if those festivals attract those kind of people, they should step up and try to stop that kind of behavior because it puts a damper on the whole thing.
But, I mean, I don't know. Like, my thing is everybody's like, it's Pride Month. It's Pride Month. I'm like, why people aren't just proud all year long?
Yeah.
You are who you are. I mean, that's just how life is. Be who you are.
Well, anyways, continuing on Fox Business, the company said it will drop diversity, equity, and inclusion. Oh, crap. That was the explanation right there. I'm sorry. Inclusion goals it had previously set for itself. DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Positions at Tractor Supply will also get axed. Now, what does that mean? I mean, they're going to stop hiring people that...
No, they're going to stop giving money to them.
Oh.
No, I think you're right, but kind of... It was more just a program to hire all-inclusive people. It was...
Try to bring them to the table?
Yeah, it was... Yeah, because I'm reading off Forbes, and it's almost the exact same you're reading.
Yeah.
But I read more about the DEI, and it's more just a program to make sure that people are hiring diversity. You know, they're using diversity and including all people. But I think what happened, Tractor Supply went strictly to the LGBTQ plus advocacy group.
Mm-hmm.
So... And that's where people were complaining, the black farmers or whoever. And so now Forbes is saying Tractor Supply is getting rid of all that. And they're going to go back to focusing the non-business. So they're not doing Pride Festival. And really, why would Tractor Supply give money to a Pride Festival?
Well, it depends.
I mean,
if they're trying to kiss the butt of large investment companies like BlackRock.
Yeah, but truly... A Tractor Supply company, what does it have to give money to gay people for?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, unless it's gay farmers group.
Unless they were pressured by some of these big investment groups.
Well, anyway, so they say they're going back to America priorities. They're going to focus on education, animal welfare, and being a good neighbor. So I think it seems like somebody just kind of went out on left field and said, ooh, let's give money to these people.
Yeah.
And mostly it was just the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
And I think there was like, you know, I got nothing against it. I'm good. But I think there was a phase when it was in to support all that. It was like, like people, Catholics that only go to church on Christmas and Easter.
Yeah.
Because it's the in thing to do, whereas people like us can support it all year round. We're not going to, you know, you're not going to be like that.
Well, you can support it in real life and not just
you're
like
not
on
gonna
paper
be
or
that
on social media.
Sunday Christian that goes to church once a week and then you go out and commit sin the rest of the week.
Personally, if I had a company, I would hire someone based on their experience and whether they're going to show up or not. How they dress, I couldn't care less.
That's part of what
they do off company and off clock is their business.
Well, I do know because I've seen it at my company, the human resource, they have this chart and
you have to fulfill so much for everyone.
Yes, and it always, because my department and my factory is mostly all men based.
Yeah.
So my HR likes it when women apply, women get interviewed, veterans get interviewed, because if not, they're afraid the government can take away funding or contracts
absolutely.
because they said, "Oh, it shows that you're not discriminating against those people."
Yeah.
You may not hire them because we totally hire on if you're worthy of the job or qualified for
Yeah,
the
but
job.
let's be honest. Where you work, you'll hire anybody because most people get the job and just don't show up.
See,
No, it's changed. We've got a lot of good people nowadays.
See, and that's the same thing where I'm at, dude. Like, they need to just stop hiring people because of anything other than, are you going to come to work and do your job?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm just so tired of all these people that just
They show
call
up.
off all the time.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
Well, and now we just heard, and I won't mention the name of the company so we don't get sued, but a friend of ours yesterday was saying the little plant that she used to work at that she still has lunch with some of the people, they're hiring aliens like from Colombia
Oh, yeah.
and all that. And well, we can't do that because we do work for the government. You have to
Sugardale's
be
been
a
doing that for
citizen.
years.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sugardale's been doing that. I
Well, they
can't
get
tell
raided
you.
that's
about 3
true.
times a year.
Huh?
Yeah.
The one by my house gets raided like 3 times
Yeah,
a year.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
true.
They get like the police just go ahead and schedule raids and
Ice.
they lose half their employees.
Well, that's right. Their brothers all show up the next day and take
Yeah,
their job.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things.
So anyway,
I don't know what the right
so
answer
I
is.
think
so.
that DEI was more. I think it sounds like to me, Tractor Supply or the current CEO just kind of got carried away, and maybe he's got a special.
Maybe he
spot
just wants
in-
to be nice.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
wants everyone to know that they're a caring company about everybody.
and he could have just
could be.
picked,
Yeah.
had money and picked one spot. Now,
Yeah.
if he would have given money to all kinds of different diverse groups, then nobody can fault him.
Yeah.
But there's always that one person that doesn't agree
Well, and that you're
with
never going to get rid of that.
one group, and so they see somebody giving money just to one group, and that's probably where the diversity thing. That's the diversity thing and inclusion is supposed to be hiring and training practices. It doesn't really have anything to do with where they give their money to.
Yeah.
But the CEO should be held accountable by a board or somebody on where their profits or their money goes to, unless he was taking it out of his pocket. But if it was coming out of
The other thing, too,
No.
that
well,
you
no,
got
that's what I said. But if it's coming out of Tractor Supply, he should be accountable.
Yeah, 'cause they have
to
board members.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, if you're going to give money to somebody to be diversified, the LGBTQ people pretty much cover everybody.
Right, but I
Other
said
than,
even
like,
if they
you
would have
know-
given to two groups,
Yeah.
then
But
this
it just-
black farmers can't say, "Oh, well, they're giving
Hold
it
on.
to
Well, see,
them."
but see,
She's
that's-
talking about the Black Farmers Association, which I will Google and get more information, but
Well,
not
like I said,
just black farmers.
Right. But like I say, but
Well, no,
then-
that's what the big headlines were.
Right,
But
right,
They
right.
were
the problem comes from, so now they're giving money to LGBTQ, but now the whatever you want to call them, the black farmers, whatever their
Association. Let me Google
whatever
that.
that is called, yeah. And then the people that are from foreign countries that are here legally, they're not getting their fair shake, is what they're saying. So now they're mad, and then it gets everybody else mad. It's just it's a whole slippery slope.
Yeah. All right.
And
Here
you're
we
never
go.
going to please everybody, and that's the problem
Correct.
with the way the culture is today. No matter what you do, somebody's going to be angry and start rabble rousing.
Oh, that started way back when that lady sued McDonald's because the coffee was too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she stuck it in her crotch.
Well,
Yeah.
she spilled it.
Spilled
I
it on
don't
herself, but yeah.
know that she stuck it there.
No, she did. She put it in her between her legs to hold it for a second,
No.
and then
And then
spilled
it
it.
popped off. The lid popped off.
Yeah, and
All
it
those
dumped a
lids are
bunch of stuff all
awful.
over her
They
pootie.
are.
We could do a whole show about those worthless lids at the.
Well, I don't drink McDonald's coffee unless I absolutely have to, so I can't really.
Well,
You,
you
you
go
like
to
it?
the-
No?
Not really my favorite, no.
I don't think I've ever had it or had enough of it to make a decision. I know that I bought a bag of IHOP coffee grounds because it was super cheap, and
is it
it's okay.
decent?
It's
Is it?
okay. I wouldn't write home about
Well,
it.
the
but-
guy at
that's
work
okay.
swears by the
okay.
McDonald's K cups.
All right, hold on. So it is
Durr.
called the National Black Farmers Association. Let's go ahead and talk, and I'm going to see what it's about.
Okay.
I like the idea of
Okay, we're okay. on
the
a
National
mission,
Black Farmers Association is a nonprofit organization representing African American farmers. Why do you have, anyways, and their families in the United States. An association, it serves tens of thousands of members nationwide. The NBFL, screw it, education and advocacy efforts have been focused on civil rights, land retention, access to public and private loans, education, and art. I can't say that word.
Agriculture.
Yeah, thank you. Training and rural economic development for black and other small farmers.
How about all farmers?
Yeah, well, they don't care about all farmers.
They don't, yeah, not mega farmers, but yeah.
The National Black Farmers Association Incorporated is a nonprofit community organization funded on February of '95 in Virginia by John W. Boyd, Jr. He is the fourth-generation farmer who is determined to hold on to his heritage and save his farm and others from foreclosure. Now, wait a minute. Now, if you make enough money, shouldn't you not have to worry about foreclosure?
You shouldn't.
Well, I don't know
how
enough
about
about
we
it.
just
Anyways,
pay these people for what they do?
worrying about foreclosure caused by racial discrimination under the United States Department of Agriculture. So how we do it? We encourage a participation of small and unserved farmers. Is that right there? Undeserved, whatever. I can't read. So anyways, gaining access to resources and state and federal programs administered by the United States Department of Agriculture, while communicating and educating our community through effective outreach and technical assistance. Just some words my mouth won't do. All right, then it goes on to John Boyd, who's a black man, who's a farmer, so good for him.
Farm it up.
I love farmers. I just really do.
Farm it up.
Of course, I'm always the jackass. I go onto a farm, and, I'm the guy who walks up to livestock and be like,
and then it bites you in the face.
Right, and then they don't know what's going on, so they either buck you, kick you, or something. That's why I'm not a man. And then they look at you like, that's like next week's steaks, and you're like talking like that to it,
Yep.
It's like, what is this animal?
Like when PETA puts the stickers in there, hi, my name was Jocelyn. Hey, Jocelyn, you were delicious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. But anyways, so they were funneling money into this organization, and I would love to spend the time to find out how much work this organization has actually done.
Right.
Words and actions are two different things. But I don't have that kind of time. However, we can revisit this topic. But let's go back to Tractor Supply, because I want to see where it says outcry followed. So maybe this is Washington Post. And these guys are so far left, I have no doubt they're going to bash Tractor Supply right and left.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, I'm not going to read this whole article, but I am going to start it off with the first paragraph. Usually there's typos all over the place. Oh my God. That's not a typo. That was me not being able to read. One of the country's largest farm supply retailers announced Thursday that it would cut diversity-focused positions and withdraw its carbon emission goals in a response to a right-wing pressure that sparked an uproar from other customers and advocacy groups. And the wife is sneezing. Give her a second. Okay, she's good. Tractor Supply Company made the changes after fielding criticisms from customers about some of its programs. The Tennessee-based business said in a statement it will also vow to stop submitting data to human rights campaigns. That one I'm on. Yeah, yes. Don't be submitting no friggin' data. An LGBTQ plus advocacy group, and no longer sponsor pride festivals and voting initiatives. That's another one I'm against. Businesses should not be trying to sway the mind of the everyday people.
No.
Okay. We have heard from customers that we have disappointed them. Okay. Well, how about stop buying all Chinese products? That probably disappoints us too.
Probably.
But the company said we have taken this feedback to heart. Okay, so they listen to their customers. That's good. That's another thing we need to keep in mind is the company's listening to its customers, right. Not a bunch of journalists and program operators, for lack of a better term, who just wants money.
Right, and they're trying to make a profit for themselves.
Let's keep that in mind. That right now this company is focused on the people who give them money. And pay people like him. The move was met with celebration from conservative activists and what is that? Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, including New York Animals Sanctuary. Wait a minute. What is that? The New York Animal LGBT and organizations and associations that aim to support black farm. Oh, okay. So
those are the people that are angry.
Right. Tractor Supply did not respond to a request for comment from the Washington Post. That's because Washington Post is a dung heap. The company is last defined itself at crossroads between customers, different political beliefs. All right, I'll go ahead and read this. The company is the latest to find itself at a crossroads between customers and different political beliefs. Last year, Bud Light sales. Yeah, we all know about Bud Light.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just skipping ahead. Media influence of the Target. And Target lost business after revealing a Pride Month. Tractor Supply, which sells animal feed, tractor parts, and power tools, and all kinds of stupid decorations, at more than 2,200 stores nationwide, was recognized for its inclusiveness last year. Bloomberg praised it for promoting gender equality, while Newsweek called it one of the best companies for diversity. The only problem is it's not a great company to work for.
I don't know. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with being diverse when you hire people.
No,
I'm with you.
As long as they work, who cares?
Yeah, if you're going to do the job,
But
come
that's another
on
thing.
down.
That's another thing. There's a difference between hiring people that are diverse and funneling money into programs that don't really do a whole lot. So let's keep that in mind when you judge. And I don't care if you judge or not.
Well, here's where you should read this one.
Well, I'm on CNN Business, which ought to be very entertaining.
Yes.
Well, this was because I Googled. This was from a day ago, and I don't know if we got it backwards, because on June 27th, TSC said they were cutting all their diversity programs, and that's what ticked off the Black Farmers Association, because they weren't going to diversify anymore.
Right.
Yeah, but you know damn well they're ticked because they were getting a big paycheck from that company, and now they're not.
Right.
And my question is, I hope it's a lot, but how many black farmers are in America?
I hope it's a
I
lot.
have that information. It's 3 million almost.
There's 3 million black farmers?
I just had it. It's
That's
either
not
that
nearly
or they
enough.
have 3 million
That's
acres.
not nearly enough.
Well, hold on now. The color of your skin shouldn't matter.
No.
If you're a person of the land and you're good at what you do, but, you know.
But I'm just saying, there are areas in this country that are predominantly black, and if those folks would be farming, that would
that's
help
true.
out the whole farming.
That's true. That's true.
In general.
No, I think it's great that there's that. I mean, I didn't think to be near that many.
Oh, I would have thought there'd have been more, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, there's your number, whether we're amazed or not.
Well, wait. 1% of the farmers in the United States are black, it says. Down from 1919 when 14% of the agricultural land was owned. However, between 2017 and 2022, black farmers did acquire more acreage, increasing from 4.6 million to 5.3 million acres. And I have no idea what percentage that is in comparison to...
So here's my question. Is there any way to find out how many of those farmers lost their land for something unfair?
Yeah.
Or how many of them lost their land because their sons didn't want to farm it?
Yeah.
No, well,
yeah,
that's
that would take
nother,
that'll take a
whole
lot of
nother
research,
story.
but
That's a week-long conversation.
But I'm all for farmers. The question is if this person is born wherever and decides they would like to farm, is it possible? Because, I mean, land is expensive right now.
Absolutely.
And you need a shit ton of it to do any kind of farming. You can't do farming in a backyard in a small community. You just can't.
Well, you can. It's just not going to be your typical farming. You can do
you can do enough to feed yourself.
No, you can do aquatic farming and things like that and make really good money with a very little land. You just have to have buildings and spillways. It's
still expensive,
but it's definitely expensive.
Yeah.
But you don't need near as much land as you would.
So here's my question. So from what I read just today, from the National Black Farmers Association, they were talking about not being able to get loans and stuff like that. If you were to waltz into a bank and say, I need $500,000 to put up 6 buildings and to plow a land so I can have some small livestock. I have 4 acres, and then they say, well, black people aren't getting the loans. But what is the criteria? Like, how does a bank say, yes, we'll give you $500,000? But how do they say, because it's a business. Right. As ugly as it is, it's a business. They loan money to make money.
Absolutely.
So,
I think when
is it easier for me? Because I would fail at farming. I don't get enough sleep. I suck. I'm fat. Anyways, so,
I don't believe that. I believe banks just have a formula when they're going to loan you money. You've got to have the business plan.
Right. That's what I'm
I don't
thinking.
even
I don't
know
think they
if
care.
having
No.
references
All they care about is
helps.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
if
could
they're
be
gonna be able to
black,
make- yeah.
yellow,
Yeah,
plaid.
they might. Yeah.
I don't think that really matters a whole lot to banks. and
But
stuff.
maybe we're all white. Maybe we have the white,
guilt thing. Yeah, who
No,
knows?
not guilt, but maybe we think this way because we've never walked into a bank and got denied, even though all of our ducks are in a row.
Oh, I've been denied for credit cards.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been afraid. I've never applied for a loan that I've been denied for because I think I've always known, oh, I can't apply for that loan. I'll never get approved.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got my first credit card, I went for months and months. I said, oh, they'll never give me a credit card. And they did. Thanks, Capital One. Still using them. They also gave me a car loan.
I guess what I'm saying is we need to have someone on the show who knows a little bit more about that
kind of
exact
stuff, yeah.
topic than we do. If nothing else, to have an opposing opinion. Because I'll admit that I'm ignorant on the whole situation.
Well, I mean, I think we're all ignorant in the situation since none of us are
Farmers.
quote unquote experts on any of it. But
Right.
at the same time, I'm with her. I don't think that a bank gives a hoot where you come from, what color you are. Can you make a business work and pay us back? That's
Yeah.
what that's.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it is a lot
I
of
would
hard
hope
work.
Anyway. I mean, good Lord.
You're walking in and you're talking to a person, and that person's thinking, can this guy get up at 3 o'clock every morning and go to bed at 11 o'clock every morning, every single day, 365 days a year? Are we going to get our money back? I don't know.
Well, I would think it's very hard to get a farm loan because so many of them had failed over the past, 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's going to make it harder for somebody to get a loan.
Yeah. And like I said, how many farms have gone under because the kids didn't want to farm and the parents died?
Oh, especially the
And they just-
generation now.
Yeah, and they just sell the land to Ryan Holmes or some developer.
Well, I've seen two just while we've been out the past week. It's like 91 acres for sale, and
Yeah.
it used to be all corn.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now
Well, I
there's
grew up in
two of
Hartville.
them close by for
I
sale.
grew up in Hartville, and I can point out all the new neighborhoods
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
I was
were
in one just the other day.
farmland.
I was
Because
in one
that's
just
where the
other day.
money, yeah, that's the kids.
Oh, yeah, you grew up in
so-
Louisville, so yeah, you
Yeah.
know exactly what I'm
Well,
talking
no,
about.
we were in one of those in Hartville the other day. We were looking for a spare tank for propane for the grill, and somebody had some for sale in Hartville. We went out, and I'm like, he's told us where to go, and I'm like, there ain't nothing out there.
Yeah.
There is. It's all condominiums and apartment buildings now. And I'm
Yep.
like, what in the
All
world
those farmers.
happened?
And I remember my mom talking about it, and she just said it's just all these farms are being sold because the kids, the farmers worked hard and sent them to college, and now they all went office jobs, and they're selling off the farms. And I remember thinking, damn, the first thing I thought about is when I was a kid in Hartville, my mom used to pack me up in the summer, early in the morning, and go out to like the swamp out there, Swamp Road. And it'd be like 6, 7 buildings, little farm barns, full of vegetables that they had pulled the night before.
Right. Or that morning.
Yeah, and I'm just like, those are all gone. They're not only all gone, all the property has been sold, and there's a house sitting there now. Yeah. And I just thought, yeah, that kind of sucks, because that was really cool for my mother to go and buy a shit ton of green beans, and she would can them.
Oh, yeah.
That was a way for them to save money when I was a kid, because my dad had to work 2 jobs for a while. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. My brother and I lived very, very well because my dad busted his ass.
Right.
He would build shit for people on the side every once in a while. He would buy something cheap, fix it up, and sell it. He did all kinds of stuff. But one of the ways they used to save money was to go to Hartville to get cheap food. They bought a side of beef one time.
Oh, yeah.
And then we ate beef like a motherfucker that year.
That's just, I don't know. And that's the difference. Like,
yeah. And now,
like, even if you look at like where we work now, like where I work now, people are like, oh, this is just ridiculous. I can't believe I got to throw these bags of food all day. I'm like, have you ever had any job? No. First job I ever had. I said, you know what my first job was? And they're like, what's that? I said, I worked in a steel mill, and I stood with a shovel of sand.
Yeah.
And when a 10,000 pound, 2,800 degree steel bar come out of a furnace, I had to pour it on the bar as it went by so it would go through the thing and suck it down and make it into a bar of steel.
Yep.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that was my first job, and you're bitching about picking up a bag?
My first job was McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my first job was putting little clay pigeons on a thrower at the Sportsman's Club so people could shoot over my head.
Oh, that's a cool job.
Yeah. Got made $20 a night when I was like 12, 13 years old. Now the dogs are snoring.
That's all right. But no, my first job, I was 14. I got a job at McDonald's, and it was it sucked. It sucked because of their stupid rules.
It still sucks working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to work there.
But anyways, and then from there, I just did dishwasher jobs up until I graduated high school. So I had a completely different way of working.
Yeah.
My first job out of high school was air conditioned, working in a photography lab, developing pictures and shit.
Oh, so you've seen all kinds of cool stuff back in the day.
No, this was like senior pictures and stuff. This wasn't just the public. When I was a kid, my dad worked for a company just like that, but it dealt with the public. And I'm telling you, the stories.
Oh, yeah. The stuff people would take pictures of and think
anything.
Nobody would know about. Please.
Yeah, and they don't realize that these pictures come off in an 8x10. Well, not 8x10, but like an 8. I'm sorry. It's a huge roll of paper.
Yeah.
It's 10 inches wide, and it's, I don't know, 500 feet. And you put it on a machine, and what it does is it puts pictures in all these different positions. Like one will be like going up and down, the other will be sideways, and it crams them all in there like making cookies.
Yeah.
Then you have a huge roll of pictures, all kinds of pictures taken by people. They put it in the machine, and the machine pneumatic cuts it up, and that's when you get your photographs.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't realize when those pictures they took of themselves naked or their kids naked or appearing in somebody's window, people could see that. There's this huge, like ribbon of paper coming off with all these pictures, and it goes slow enough. My dad used to take me in there because he was maintenance, so he'd have to go in on the weekends sometimes and check something out. And I would just run up to the printer.
Be like,
yeah, just watching the pictures as they go by, just, checking out people's photos. There's nothing private about it. Of course, nowadays it's all digital. But back then, there was nothing private about it.
absolutely not. The man at the photo hut knew exactly what was in that envelope when he handed it to
Absolutely. Of course, who cares? Hopefully they were
you. They
all...
don't even have those anymore, the little photo huts.
I know, and it's...
They're
Well,
gone.
last time I looked into it, if you were to use real film, you have to mail it to a company in New York, and they'll print it up and cut it up and send them back to you. So it's still done, but it's 9 times as expensive. It takes way longer. But anyways.
Ridiculous.
But now, like I said, everyone's cell phone has just completely made it stupid easy.
Yes, it has.
But anyways, that was my first job. It was air conditioned, and it was night shift, and so I can't complain.
He just watched people's faces going by.
Yep. And then, like, weddings and shit like that. Anything you would hire professional photography for. A lot of... there was some cool ones. This one guy took pictures of medieval art. Not medieval, I'm sorry. Art about religious themes.
Okay.
So I have one picture. I still have it. It's like shows like this guy painted something that shows like it's like the end of the world kind of thing. And in this picture, man creates the end of the world. There's like a nuclear explosion and the mushroom cloud is in the shape of Einstein. I don't know why he's picking on Einstein for some reason, but anyways, that was really cool. And I have pictures of when the Indians won something in like 95. What'd they win in the 95?
The championship.
American League Championship.
Yeah, I have actual photographs because, we got the negatives that this guy took on the field of celebration. And I was running the equipment, so I just put in to double up everything,
Right.
And I took a couple. So there were actual photographs that I stole from the company that developed the photographs from this professional photographer.
And
Things
now
like
the
that.
Cleveland
Wonder
Indians
why
are
they
gonna
went
sue
out
us.
of business.
No, they went out of business because of cell phones
I know.
and computers.
And now we're going to get sued by the Cleveland,
No, they don't exist
No.
anymore,
Yeah,
so
they're-
nobody's
yeah,
suing
yeah.
shit.
Well, that was just some guy that took the pictures.
But if you want to buy the photograph off me, just let me know. I got it buried in my studio somewhere. But yeah, it was cool. It was a fun job, but I ended up leaving because one of the women who worked there, who was in charge, hated my guts. She didn't hate me, but my dad worked there, so she treated me like shit because she didn't want anyone to think there was favoritism. Well, she went so far over, she just treated me like shit.
Yep.
I'm just like, fuck this. So I quit.
Been there, done that.
But anyway, so we got 10 minutes. Were we still going to talk about Tractor Supply?
I don't know. Do we have to? I don't know. We can talk about whatever. We've been talking about English is tough. Developing pictures for the last 10 minutes.
Well, we always veer off. That's what makes us entertaining.
It's definitely weird.
Are they still using their damn solar panels? Did they ever get those things working?
Oh, yeah.
Tractor Supply, when the building was built, half of the roof is solar panels. And then someone
600
drove into the fucking panel, so they were just not using them for most of the time I worked there.
But yeah, I think it should all be running now. If I remember correctly, it's 680 million kilowatts of energy that they put out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that building is ridiculous.
It's 16 football fields of solar panels. Well, I'm sure the whole thing isn't solar panels, but the roof is the size of 16 football fields, and I can guarantee you at least 3/4 of it is covered in solar panels.
Yeah. Anyways, that's kind of impressive. And they say they're trying to lower their carbon footprint. I look at it as, hey, the sun you can make electricity from the sun.
Do it.
You know, why take all the power from the grid when you can kind of make your own?
Well, I'm sure they're selling back. Like I said, I don't know if Ohio has the buyback program for electricity.
Yes, they do.
But I know for residents, but do they do it for corporations?
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that.
I know they do it for residents,
Yes.
but I'm not sure about corporations.
For those of you who don't know, think of electricity as water. They pump it. Did you have? Well, it's a good thing I have the fan because he just blew his fart right at me.
It was the chair.
Okay, well, we're going to assume it's a chair anyway.
It
Sound
was
like a
the
fart.
chair. If I was letting one rip, I would have let you know.
You probably would have blew my earphones off. Anyways, if you have a house, and let's say you hook up a solar panel or a windmill just for shits and giggles, if you give back more electricity than you use, then they will actually pay you the difference. Let's make it water. Let's say electricity is water. If you bring in 6 gallons and you use 6 gallons, then you pay for that 6 gallons. But if you bring in 6 gallons and you're giving back 12, they pay you for the extra 6 gallons.
But you just messed that wrong. If you get 6 gallons and use 6 gallons, you pay nothing. You break even. You don't pay for 6 gallons because you used what you produced yourself.
No. Okay.
If you produce $60 worth of electricity and use $60 of electricity, your
Breaking
electric
even.
bill is
okay,
zero.
Yes, sorry. I did.
If you produce $80 worth of electricity and use 60, then you get $20.
Yes, sorry.
Oops. And I actually don't know if they pay this. They probably pay you a smaller rate than what they sell it for, but
I don't know how it
you
works.
get something back.
Yeah, because my father had a friend. We would go to his house every once in a while, and he had a windmill, and he said, I often get paychecks from the power company.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just brilliant, but, hey, we don't do it.
Well, you don't really have enough land to put up a windmill.
We do.
I don't know if they have. You gotta have a pretty big windmill to make some money.
Yeah, but I could still do it.
You probably could.
Anyways, I'd just buy one of those big ones where the blades are the size of our neighborhood.
But listen, man, if I had millions and billions of dollars, I probably would do that. I'd probably be like, oh, I got money, let's make some money.
But so I thought they were pretty.
Listen, I'm not sure if corporations can get into the same program.
You know what? They should, if you think about it, because if they're
Absolutely.
giving more, then they're actually supporting the grid.
Right, then they should get paid.
And
But
some
like I
neighborhood on the grid is not getting brownouts anymore because of this. So they should. They should
Well,
get
there's
it.
certain states that don't pay even residents that do it.
Yeah, I
if
know.
you make more electricity than you sell, and then thanks for the free money.
Yeah, that's true.
So who knows? I mean, the way the government regulates stuff is just insane.
I watched this video a couple of days ago about this guy who broke down all the taxes that we pay. I mean, everything, even taxes you forget about.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you what, it'll infuriate you. It's like when you really add it up, you're losing more than 50% of your paycheck to taxes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then they wonder why everyone's broke. I mean, 50%? That's just insane. And, of course, they sneak it in, and we just live with it,
Yeah.
Oh, I need to work overtime. Well, you wouldn't if they wouldn't take so much shit out.
But then they wouldn't get their money.
Oh, all these different state and federal, all the taxes, it's insane. I mean, I've always bitched about the roads. And they say, why do you bitch about the roads? Because look at every single license plate in Ohio is $50. Every license plate is a $50 bill. Now think about that for a minute.
And the roads around here
Are horrid.
trash.
Horrid. So where is that money going? And then you always get these jackasses who just love to argue, and they try to answer the question. You think that doesn't make any sense. What you're saying doesn't make any sense.
I'm with you. The money that we spend for, even when you buy gas in Ohio, some of that money is supposed to go towards the taxes for the roads and all. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't care enough to hold somebody accountable to look into it and see where the money's going.
Yeah. Well, the one that really
Someone needs to fix this.
The one that really pisses me off is like your home or your car. Okay, you sell your home or your car. Well, that person has to pay taxes on it. No, I already paid the taxes when I bought it.
Yeah.
If I buy a TV from you that you paid taxes on, I'm going to pay taxes again. Why do I got to do it on a car or a house?
Yeah, they will eventually.
It's because they can title it and they can regulate it.
Yeah.
If there was no way to regulate that stuff, kind of like when online poker was huge and people were spending millions of dollars playing online poker, they didn't get rid of it because it was poker and gambling. They got rid of it because there was no way for them to regulate it and get their cut.
Yeah.
Don't let them lie to you. they couldn't get their money because it was all done offshore. So they couldn't get their cut. Now you can play online if you live in a certain area, and you can sign up and they know all your information, and you can send in a thing and get 1099 at the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
But now you can. You just got to make sure you pay the government their cut when you win some money.
Yeah, Ohio's like that. We go to West Virginia, and we win a big jackpot. I can't remember.
We've never won a big jackpot.
If
we would win a big jackpot.
and you have to pay what, like 20% or something? Or
I don't know.
I think it's 28%.
I thought it was like 60. It was more than 30.
Well, when my
I know he
sister
said
won
20,
the
but-
lottery, they took 35%.
Yeah, but that's state and federal together, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah,
Probably.
the state of Ohio only takes 20 something, but
Yeah.
then federal takes another 18 or 20 or whatever the hell. If you win the lottery, it's like by the time you're done, I think it's like 46% goes to taxes.
Actually, I said lottery, but I was thinking casino when we used to go to West
Yeah.
Virginia and play the
I
casino.
think there's a dollar limit that they have to notify the government
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
win, and I'm not sure, and I think that varies state to state.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I
But
think I want to say
it's-
$2,000, but I think it's less than $2,000.
No, I think it's more. I think it's like 5 or 10.
Yeah.
You should,
Yeah.
It's $10,000. If you spend $10,000 in cash to buy something, they have to tell the government.
Yeah, because
And
the
somebody
bank
told me they
will-
lowered that to 7, but I'm not
Oh.
sure.
Because I know the banks would always, if you transfer or deposit 10,000, they would notify the IRS.
Yes.
Because that was my pet peeve. Because I have dreams of winning the lottery.
don't we all?
Yes.
Hundreds of millions of dollars, and they take your 35 or 40% tax out of it. But then my bitch about that is, if I want to give my daughter $5 million of that, she's got to
You get
pay a gift
again.
tax.
Yeah.
And tax
So
again.
if you win 5,000 or more at any casino in Ohio, they will automatically withhold 24% of your winnings. This covers the applicable federal taxes. So if you win over $5,000, in the case of state taxes, all casinos must withhold 4% of your winnings over the threshold for reporting anywhere from 600 to 5,000. So if you win over 600, you have to pay Ohio taxes.
I think that's the most we owe. I think I won 600 on that.
You won 800 once.
Not all at once, though. The jackpot I hit at Wheeling and the
Yeah.
high rollers on the 777s, where nobody was around, it was $600.
I thought you won 800.
No. I think I didn't win more than 600 in Vegas either, because I hit a couple jackpots on the Wheel of Fortune in Vegas.
Man, I'd hate to see Daniel's freaking tax bill from this year then.
Who?
A guy that I kind of sort of know, I used to play online poker with, but he's a professional poker player. He won, the World Series of Poker is going on right now, and he won the Players Championship, whatever, $1.1 million or some
Damn.
crazy shit. Could you imagine what that freaking tax form looks like?
Oh, yeah.
It's probably
I won
like
$1 million. I got
120
200,000 to
freaking
show
pages
for
long.
it.
Yeah, it's probably 120 pages long, the tax form for some shit like that. It's
Yeah.
got to be absolutely... I mean, he makes really good money, don't get me wrong, and he's not hurting by any means. But he probably has to pay somebody 10% of what he makes just to be able to understand all the tax bullshit.
Well, don't you think it'd be the same if you win 10,000 or $1 million? They're going to take a
I
certain
would have to say
percentage of
it's
tax
probably
out.
a little different for him because of how he gets paid.
Yeah.
Because he wins money when he plays poker, he has to pay taxes on it. But when you win money playing poker, then you get pushed into, I don't know how you would, like, you make money from other sources. This is so and so, he won this, yada yada yada, and then they use your face as a part of their poker when they
Right.
sell stuff. So you get paid for that. So then you got to pay taxes on that. Well, then the World Series of Poker also can use your image because you won. Hey, look, boom, winner last year, yeah. So they probably have to give him some type of royalty for using his image and whatnot because, yeah. So he's got to pay taxes on that. Then he's also employed by GG Poker, which is a big online thing. So they pay him. So, I mean, he probably has...
A good accountant.
Oh, he like that's what I said. He probably spends at least 10 or 15% of what he makes a year just for somebody to handle his tax stuff, so he doesn't have to try and figure it the fuck out. Because I don't know anybody in the world that would want to, who would want to go to school to do that.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be an accountant, but I thought I would get bored sitting in an office all day, so I veered.
You would.
I veered.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I'd want to be in charge of
I
somebody's
like
millions
numbers.
of dollars.
I like balancing numbers. I like doing inventory and
Well,
counting
that's
and
different
making
than
everything
taking care of
balanced.
somebody's money and then you make one little
Oh, yeah.
oopsie and it ends up screwing you out of.
Oh, yeah, but there's checks and balances. You do everything twice, 2 different ways to make sure it all balances. And nowadays, computers probably do most of it.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, my dad taught me in high school, he would give me his checkbook every month, and I had to sit there and balance it for him every month.
Checkbook. Do people even have those anymore?
I have one. It's in that top drawer. I haven't written it.
Checked in about 5 years, but yeah, there's
Yeah.
one in
I
there.
was so excited when we got married 14 years ago to order new checks with my new name on it. And he said, why? And at the time, it was because we were getting ready to move. And I still have those checks. You know, I ordered 100 14 years ago and still have them.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I remember when like I was younger and I got a checking account, a lot of places wouldn't take my check. Oh, it's not higher enough on the number. What?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
only on check 12. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't write a check but 3 times a friggin' year.
So just
It
grab
took me
one.
4 years to get to 12.
Yeah. That's when you just flip through and pull one from the middle.
From the back, like, here, you take that one then.
Yep. You want to be a jackass, I can teach you that, dude.
I just thought that was crazy. Your check number isn't high enough for us to be able to accept it. What?
Yeah,
That's another
nowadays-
thing we can talk about. Let's talk about that next week, is things like writing checks and not teaching cursive and stuff like that.
Oh, we can do that. That's the other thing, too, that we could get into, too. Like, I was reading this thing about how a certain percentage of all money is lost when you spend money digitally instead of spending cash. And I guess it's one of the reasons that the dollar's going down right now. Well, it might be coming back up now, but the dollar was going down because so many people spend money digitally and companies keep a certain percentage for this and a certain percentage for that. And it's only, you know, a percent or a half a percent, but so that money's just gone. That it's not in the community anymore. It belongs to somebody in, you know, Asia or whoever's running all these big companies that, you know, process all your debit cards and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, our time is up, peeps. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. But if you like what we talked about or don't like it, agree, don't agree, let us know.
yeah.
If you think Tractor Supply should still funnel money into these programs or not, let us know. We're curious.
I'm definitely curious.
Yeah, because he still works there. So, all right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week.
See ya.